All right, guys, thanks for joining us this evening for our first ever online Whitesboro ISD Fall Sports Parent Meeting. Obviously, unprecedented times call for unprecedented measures. So tonight we're going to do this online. Obviously, we could have come together in person. No laws stating that we couldn't have. Us as a school district admin team have decided that we will take no unnecessary risks where bringing everybody together, 300 parents and different kids all in one room, in our humble opinion, is an unnecessary risk at this time. So we're going to give you every bit of info we can online. Before I jump into that, I'm going to introduce some new staff members joining Whitesboro ISD this year. First up is Coach Bailey Nelson, coming to us from Paris High School, and I'll let him introduce himself real quick.
Like Coach said, coming over from Paris, Texas, been there the last 4 years. Excited to be at Whitesboro. I'll be teaching world history at the high school and assisting in football, girls basketball, and softball. Excited to be here.
Thanks, Coach Nelson. Next up is Coach Briley Marvin, coming to us from Carl Albert High School in Midwest City, Oklahoma.
Hi, I'm Coach Marvin. I'll be assisting football, offensive line. I'll be doing middle school basketball with the boys and middle school track. As Coach said, been at Carl Albert High School the last 4 years. I won 4 gold balls, so I'm excited to be a Bearcat, excited to get this thing built down here.
Thanks, Coach Marvin. Next up is Coach John Bratchard. He's entering the coaching ranks this year as a first-year coach, but he's been a part of organized athletics for a long, long time and been a part of the Whitesboro community for several years. His wife currently works at our middle school, so we're excited to have Coach John Bratchard.
Thanks, Coach. Like you said, this is my first year. I'm going to be teaching 8th grade BIM and working with the middle school girls in volleyball, basketball, and track, and really excited to get started. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach Bratchard. Next up is a Whitesboro legend, or maybe fourth in his own household as far as the boys are concerned. We've got Coach Channing Hickman coming to us after a great standout career here as an athlete at Whitesboro and also going on to Hardin-Simmons University to compete at the collegiate level. We're excited to have Channing coming back home and helping us out this year.
Thanks, Coach. Like you said, I got to graduate here. Coming here from Hardin-Simmons is my first year coaching. I'll be coaching football, middle school basketball, and track. So excited to be here.
Thanks, Coach Hickman. Next up is Coach Sidney Brady Huff coming to us from Hillsboro High School down near the Waco area. She will be taking over all of the athletic training duties for the middle school and high school athletes. We're excited to have her.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach B. Last but certainly not least is our new head girls basketball coach, Nick Hebert, coming to us from Cinco Ranch High School and Katy ISD.
Thanks, Coach. As you said, coming from the Katy area, I'm very happy to be back at the small school. I'll be the head girls basketball coach as well as assisting in track. And I'll also be in charge of the fall girls off season. Looking forward to it.
Thank you for joining us here for the Fall Sports Parent Meeting at Whitesboro ISD Athletics. Hope you enjoyed getting to virtually meet our new staff members, all 5 of those coaches and our new trainer. I'm going to jump right into our athletic handbook. On the first page, you can find these handbooks shared with you online at the Whitesboro ISD website. If you go to extracurriculars and then you can find athletics there, you'll find a link to our overall athletic handbook. And then obviously, if you need a hard copy sent home, have your student athlete let us know and they can bring it home for practice. One of our coaches can print it for them. First thing you'll see there on the inside of that handbook is our athletic program objectives. And then you'll see code of conduct and penalties. We have stated here that the rules, we'll have as few rules as possible other than the previous established WISD Code of Conduct and Student Handbook, which all of our students have to follow. The basic way we do things is we ask 3 questions. Will it make you a better person? Will it make you a better student? Or will it make you a better athlete? If the answer is no to any of the above, then it will be a rule and there will be no exceptions. If the answer is yes, then there is no need for a rule. We do have some guidelines listed in that book, starting with number 1, no drinking, smoking, or drugs of any kind at any time in any location. Number 2, no profanity. Number 3, the hair should be kept neat at all times. 4, no necklaces, bracelets, no earrings, no jewelry of any kind. Number 5, if you miss practice, call one of the coaches beforehand. We need to make sure that the kids are learning to communicate. Number 6 is be prompt and on time for all meetings and practices. 7 is keep your locker clean and neat, pick up all towels and trash. Number 8, treat others as you would have them treat you. 9, at all times you will be held responsible for your actions. And 10, do right and do your best. Obviously, I'm not going to go through every scenario of disciplinary action. I will say that we have things in place and procedures for the event that something does go wrong, and we do have to hold your child responsible for their actions. Obviously, we take those on a case-by-case basis, and obviously each coach has the right to discipline their team members the way they see fit to make sure the discipline is upheld within their program. So I won't get into every single scenario there. Obviously, we could talk about those situations if they arise, and hopefully they don't. We do outline in this handbook major offense disciplinary action, 3-strike policy, dealing with things such as arrests, felonies, things that we hope to never deal with. Then we also outline a section there on athletic team and program removal, a dismissal from the sports section, and then we have a quitting a sport 25-mile policy. I'll touch on this real quick. Basically, the policy is in place and board approved to try and get kids to finish what they start. We feel here at Whitesboro Athletics that it's our job to train kids to finish what they start. We believe that there is a bit of a trend in our society that shows people not finishing what they've started and quitting things, and we're trying to teach kids that if they're going to commit to something, they need to finish. So the policy states that students who withdraw from a sport after the initial grace period of practice defined by the coach in their athletic handbook must recognize and abide by the following. Grace period is never longer than 10 practices or 2 weeks. I know for me in particular in football, I list it as 9 days. So if they stick with football after the 9th day, they're basically committing to us for the entire season. And then if they choose to quit after that, then they would fall under this policy and have to pay the price for their decision. So a student may not start any other Whitesboro ISD sport activity until the season of the sport the student quit or was dismissed from is completely finished. The season consists of regularly scheduled games and all playoff games at the varsity level. This policy applies to freshman, JV, or varsity member. So basically we're saying if your student athlete quits a sport after that grace period, which in football is 9 days, other sports have specifics, then they will not get to just jump right into the next sport at the start. They will have to miss a portion of the season as a consequence for not finishing what they started in the previous sport. Student must also complete running 25 supervised miles prior to the start date of the next sport in which they intend to participate, and will be suspended for exactly half of that season in the next sport they participate in. So obviously the rule is in place to protect ourselves. We're a small 3A district, and we need every kid to compete in as many sports as possible to help us be successful. And having a few kids quit here and there can cause us major issues as a program, so we want to make sure that at the end of the day that we teach kids to finish what they start. We also have academic expectations, general expectations, what you can expect from your coaches. I will touch on that. You can expect your coaches to be loyal to you in all areas, to be totally and upfront and honest with you, to provide the leadership and training necessary to achieve our goals, to work you harder than you have ever worked before, to assist you in any way possible now and after you graduate, to treat you as an adult and respect you, to make all decisions predicated on what is best for the team, then the individual. The eighth thing that you can expect from our coaches is to do everything within our power to improve our facilities and make this the best place in Texas to go to school and to be an athlete. I will say I'm sitting here now at after 5 o'clock on Thursday afternoon, where the coaches have just put in over 40 hours this week in improving these facilities, painting walls, painting floors, moving lockers, rearranging this place. A lot of work has gone in by the coaching staff here at Whitesboro to ensure that your athletes are put in the nicest facilities possible and the safest facilities possible during the middle of this pandemic. So number 9 is to help you mature and grow. 10 is to help you reach and your goals, and the 11th is to never say can't. So obviously we follow the UIL and TEA guidelines when it comes to athletic participation. You have to maintain a certain average in classes and be passing and doing those things. Obviously we outline those things for your kids and we hold them accountable in those areas. I will say 100% that if your athlete is struggling in class, your coach will do their best to make sure we are encouraging them both vocally and with extra work at practice to ensure that they understand that it is important that you take care of your academics. We will always put academics before athletics, and we will do what we need to make sure that your student athlete understands that, and try to get them motivated any way we can to go see that teacher to do extra work and make sure that they can take care of that. Whitesboro ISD athletic program has a commitment to strength and conditioning. We want our kids to be the strongest and fastest in the state, and in order to do that, we will have to work you harder than you've ever worked before. We've seen some great gains with Coach Gabbert and his strength conditioning program in the last couple of years. Really excited about the way that's going and seeing our kids develop each and every day. We encourage our athletes to be multi-sport athletes for multiple reasons. The main focus of that is to make your son or daughter the most well-rounded person they can be. If they learn how to participate in multiple things, some teams they may be the number one player and the best player on the team in the stud, and another sport they may not be the best, and they have to learn to be a role player. They may have to learn to be a bench player in some sports and come off the bench and help wherever they can to make that team the most successful they can be. So we encourage them to participate in multiple sports. We're a small 3A district where we need all kids to participate in multiple things to try and help us be the best that we can be. So we are going to encourage daily for your students to participate in something else. We believe wholeheartedly that the best off season for the next sport is to participate in the next sport. We don't want to have a room full of off-season kids, meaning kids that aren't currently participating in a sport. We want to have kids go on the boys' side from either cross-country or football in the fall to a wide variety of sports in the winter, whether that be wrestling, powerlifting, basketball. We've got many things to offer in the winter and spring, and we want our kids to be as well-rounded as possible and participate in as many things as possible. Each coach outlines in their handbook how to earn a letter jacket in their program, and then we have outlined in this handbook all the UL general eligibility rules, and also a parent/coach relationship section, which obviously paraphrased is just saying that we're in this battle together and we want to help you do everything you can to raise a great child that's going to contribute to this society and make this town and this community and this school district proud. Last section is discussing fan and parent expectations at athletic events. We're going to demand of your child that they be poised and do things with class at all times. We ask that parents demonstrate that same thing from the stands so that we can get your student athletes to follow your lead and our lead, and we appreciate your help in that area. That's a quick wrap up of our handbook. If you obviously have any questions, you can email myself at faganc, Faganc, at whitesboroisd.org, or give us a call at the office and we'll get back with you as soon as we can. Appreciate your time tonight, and following me here will be each fall sport coach giving some specifics to each and every one of their sports. Thank you for your time. Next up, I'm going to turn it over to Coach Barbara Urban, who you all know and love with our great established cross-country program. She's going to give you a few pointers and updates on cross-country for this upcoming season. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Coach.
All right, great to be back. Have a good season this last season. We were regional champs in Winch State. Hopefully we'll be back down there this next year. That's what our goal is every year. My mandatory high school practice begins at 6:30 a.m. Monday, August 3rd. If you are high school, keep that in mind. I need you to sign up for Team App with Whitesboro Cross Country. It'll say Whitesboro XC Team App. I update very often on their weekly. Sometimes we get into season daily. So make sure that you sign up for that if you have not already done so. Rank 1, I've been making sure get on Rank 1, fill out those papers. If you have questions, let me know. But we need to get that taken care of before Monday. There is a new meet policy. UIL has now made a new meet policy, so our schedule is going to change. As soon as I get a schedule all taken care of, I'll let you know that. There can only be 8 teams at a meet. Also part of this policy, parents and spectators cannot be at the team campsite where they usually camp. They cannot be. We can only have one level at each meet. So if we go to a high school meet, it's going to be high school only. Varsity, if we go to middle school meet, it'll be middle school only. 8 teams only. You cannot be. So I just want to let your parents know beforehand. I'll kind of go over this with you again. We go to meets, but there'll be specific areas only for spectators. You cannot go beyond those, wherever that boundary is. New schedule, I'll get that out as soon as possible. Working on that right now. So the schedule that was on Team App is no longer going to be what we're going to be following. We will be having a meet this year. Whitesboro will have a meet. We'll have Friday, October 2nd, the high school run. And then October 3rd, the following day on that Saturday, the middle school will have a meet. So we will have a meet here at Whitesboro. Sign up for, like I said, through Team Act, Whitesboro Cross Country. I will have the updated handbook with the COVID requirements, and see you Monday morning, 6:30 in the morning for high school, mandatory. We have 3 more days this week, and then we'll be good to go for the season.
Thanks, Coach Urban. Obviously, we'll be updating you guys on a daily and weekly basis as things change due to the COVID situation here in Grayson County. Next up is our new head tennis coach, Mark Amos. He's not new to the district, but he is new to that program, and he's done a great job in the transition so far this summer. So here's Coach Mark Amos giving you an update on anything related to fall tennis.
Thank you, Coach Fagan. As he said, I'm Coach Amos, the new head tennis coach. New area for me, but I'm looking forward to it. Kind of following in Coach Worley's footsteps, and trying to keep that tradition going with the tennis program. We will be having 6 matches for the fall tennis. It is team tennis. It's varsity only. First match will be on August 25th at Decatur. All the matches will be after school. Then we have 5 more matches after that before the regional tournament, which will be, I believe it's September 22nd and 23rd. We are practicing right now. We are meeting in the evenings right now, Mondays and Tuesdays, from 7 to 8:30. As school gets closer, we'll probably get those going, be a little more intense. Practice will be after school until about 4:30. Once school starts, we will start during the class period. And then for those students that do not have athletics last period, they will come after school and work with us until 4:30. Looking forward to a good season. Want the parents to know that I'm going to do all I can, and we're going to work real hard with these students, and we're going to get it done. Thank you very much.
Hey guys, I'm Coach Gabbard. I'm the head volleyball coach here at Whitesboro, and I'm here to talk to you about a few things that have happened. UIL has gone in and changed our rules. We will have no tournaments this year. With that happening, I have gone in and changed our schedule. You will get high school, if you will get on the high school Whitesboro Volleyball Team App page. That's where I will be updating you daily on things that are going on. The new schedule will be posted there shortly. Also, we start our mandatory practices Monday at 7:30 a.m. down at the track. We will go 7:30 to 8:30 there. We have to take a mandatory 2-hour break, and then we'll pick up at 10:30 here at the high school and start doing our volleyball stuff. Our first scrimmage will be Friday here at Whitesboro with a couple of schools coming. We will not have any spectators at this time for the scrimmage. We will pick up having spectators with our first home game. For our middle school schedule will be updated and posted soon. And our first day for middle school practice will be the first day of school. I can't wait to see y'all. Bye.
All right, hope you enjoyed hearing from our cross-country coach, Coach Barbara Urban, our volleyball coach, Coach Carissa Gabbert, and our tennis coach, Coach Mark Amos. I'm going to finish this deal up real quick with the football-specific portion of the fall parent meeting. My handbook for football is almost 100% identical to the overall athletic handbook. It basically has a couple of areas that do football sport-specific things. The last page has a football-specific items section. I'll go ahead and read those things to you and give you a quick update of how football's going and where we're going from here heading into the school year. All equipment issued is property of Whitesboro ISD and needs to be left at the field house daily. We will wash the laundry for the kids daily. Cleats, gloves, socks, tights, arm sleeves, or any other extra flashy items must be cleared through Coach Fagan before being worn in practice or games. A good plan is to save your money and not get any of the extra gadgets because we will most likely not allow you to wear it. Some of you say we're being unfair in that. Basically, the principle behind it, just to give you an insight on what we're thinking, is we want them all to look the same. We're a team. We're going to do everything the same. The school is blessed to be in a great situation financially. We provide the kids with top-notch equipment in all areas, and we're going to look sharp out there on that field, but we're going to look sharp all the same, and we're going to do things the same. So We're going to stand by that commitment to the kids, and we're going to go out there however many deep, whether that be 30 deep on a Friday night or 40 deep on a Thursday night, and we're going to all look the same, and we're going to be committed to trying to not bring attention to ourselves, but bring attention to the team before ourselves. High school football players will be issued everything they will need to compete in a football game other than cleats. Middle school football players will need to purchase their own girdle, which is a tight undergarment with built-in thigh, hip, and backbone pads. And then also they will need to supply their own cleats. Our policy on cleats are also back to the no flashy stuff. Our color palette for you to choose from is basically maroon, white, silver, gold, or black. So if you want to choose one of those 5 colors for cleats, those will be fine, but we're not going to do neons, greens and oranges and yellows and all the different things that, once again, we feel like are doing nothing more than drawing attention to that player as an individual instead of them being a part of the team. So the 5 colors, once again, maroon, white, black, silver, or gold. Varsity football players will always travel to and from the games with a team unless an emergency arises. Subvarsity, which is JV and middle school, will be allowed to travel home with the parents only if they have a written email or written note turned into the head coach of their specific team 24 hours in advance of the game. Under no circumstances can an athlete be sent home with a friend or teammate's parent. So I think you guys all understand where we're coming from on that. We got to make sure that we cover our bases and we do our best to take care of your child in all situations. We can't trust them to another parent, even under the circumstance of a phone call. We've got to make sure that we cover them and take care of them in all areas. Like I mentioned earlier, in the overall athletic handbook, each coach is to outline a period of time that is considered for the quitting policy. For the football tryout or grace window is 9 practice days. If you choose to leave because you don't think football is for you before the first scrimmage, you will not fall under the quitting a sport policy. If you travel to the first scrimmage, you are basically committing to a full season. That first scrimmage comes on the 10th day, and so if you stick with us after the 10th day, then you're with us for the long haul, and we anticipate enjoying being around you for the entire season and you facing any type of challenges head on and finding a way to finish through those. So I appreciate your time. Regarding the handbook, I will touch on a couple things COVID related. We're going to do everything in our power to put your kids in the safest environment possible. We have rearranged locker rooms. We have cleaned everything. We will continue to clean on a daily basis. We will clean things during practice and during weight sessions continually. I do take pride in the fact that our coaching staff has put in more time and effort than a whole lot of people in this state and kept kids healthy for every single day of Summer Pride. I truly hope we're not just lucky. I truly hope that it's something that the hard work of the kids and coaches of wearing the mask and cleaning and doing all the things necessary to stay socially distant is paying off for us. Hopefully we can continue to do those things. We will have an outlined plan that we will share with your student athletes this coming week to outline exactly how we plan to keep your child as safe as possible during this time and limit any type of outbreak of any sickness, much less COVID. So appreciate your time. Looking forward to getting into this season with you as an ally as we continue to develop these young men into better people and hopefully win a lot of games along the way. So looking forward to it. Go Bearcats.